Hey everyone, it's Carissa Wiley at sprinkledwithglitter.com. Thanks for joining me today. Today I am sharing a fun project that you can create with your paper crafting supplies, but it's not a card. And I was inspired to create this for the Pinkfresh Studio January 2023 monthly challenge, which is a roundup of all of the 2022 challenges. And Celeste Gonzalo created an adorable embroidery hoop decor piece for the April 2022 challenge. And I decided I wanted to create that in a different way with the theme of geometric shapes and create a shaker desktop decor piece. This could be an ornament, it could be a decor piece that you put on a little easel. I just wanted to kind of take this idea and kind of experiment with it. So I am using the overlapping GeoLeaf hot foil plate from Pinkfresh Studio and some Spellbinders Glimmer foil in the color Blush, along with a blush colored cardstock, and I'm going to hot foil this overlapping GeoLeaf design onto this blush colored cardstock. Now, my color palette today was inspired by Angela Simpson, who is My Crafty Perspective on Instagram, and I'll have her linked below. And I'm kind of taking inspiration from all of these different people and places and combining them together to create my own project today. So I placed my hot foil plate onto my Gemini foil press. I allowed that to heat up. After my timer had ran out, I went ahead and ran that through my Gemini Junior, and now I'm going to burn myself with that very hot plate. And I have a gorgeous blush colored foil on this blush colored cardstock. And now I'm going to do some stenciling. Now these are the overlapping GeoLeaf stencils. There are 5 different stencils. I'm using the first 4. And as I mentioned before, my color palette was inspired by Angela Simpson. And I'm using Ballet Slipper, Coral Reef, Emerald Isle or Emerald City, that is, and Evergreen inks from Pinkfresh Studio to create this gorgeous coloring of this GeoLeaf pattern. Now, in order to make this fit behind my embroidery hoop, and by the way, I will have these embroidery hoops linked in the YouTube description, I went ahead and used the largest circle die from the Nested Circle die set from Pinkfresh Studio to die cut a circle. And then I am going to use the Nested Circle hot foil plates to create a frame to go on the front of this embroidery hoop. And I'm using the Fancy Script Words, I believe that's what it's called, hot foil set to create a sentiment. Now, at first I thought I would use the word thanks, but then I wanted to have something that was a little more, I don't know, reminding the person how amazing they are. So I got this You Are So Amazing hot foil plate from the exact same plate and die set, and I'm going to hot foil that on the other end of this Hammermill cardstock. Now, when I use the Glimmer foil with my Gemini foil press, I always like to use the medium heat. I find I get the best results. I let my plate sit on the platform for about a minute, and I tend to get really great results when I'm using this Hammermill cardstock or when I use the Concord and Ninth white cardstock. They're both my recommended hot foil cardstocks for a white cardstock. And you can see once I have these pieces hot foiled, I'm going to line up the coordinating dies and die cut those. Now, the nested circles have both the outer and the inner die for the shapes, so that makes it perfect for creating this frame. And then I'm going to go back to that largest circle in the nested circles die set, and I'm going to die cut a piece of clear window plastic. This is the Essentials by Ellen clear plastic. I do like to add a metal shim to my die cutting sandwich when I am die cutting acetate. I just find that I get great cut results. You can try adding a piece of cardstock underneath the acetate. That's another option as well. I am flipping this embroidery hoop over to what I believe is the back side. And I'm adding some liquid glue to the frame of that embroidery hoop. And I'm going to attach that beautiful GeoLeaf circle onto the back of this embroidery hoop. You can see I do have a little bit of glue on my work surface, so I did need to clean that up. And I let that sit for quite a while. I added a large acrylic block over the top of it to make sure that there was good pressure, that there was good contact being made between that backer piece and the embroidery hoop. And then I went ahead and attached the acetate onto that hot foil frame that I created, again using some liquid glue. Now for the sentiment, I wanted it to have a little bit of weight and a little bit of heft to it. Since it's going to be a decor piece, I didn't want to do just one layer of the cardstock. So I layered up 3 plain white die cuts behind this foiled sentiment to give it a little bit of depth and dimension, but also some weight so that it can stand up to kind of being used on a desktop surface. I die cut some of the curvy leaves. This is one of my favorite dies from Pinkfresh Studio, out of some Essentials by Ellen Vellum, and I'm arranging them along that right edge of that hot foil circle and just kind of adding them on with a little bit of liquid glue, kind of curving around the edge of that circle. And then I'm going to add my sentiment using, once again, some liquid glue onto that acetate. And then I'm going to add, again, a clear block on top of that to make sure good contact is being made while the glue dries. Now you could leave this open and skip the acetate and the shaker bits, but for me, all the sparkle, all the time, that's how I roll. So I sprinkled in some sparkling clear confetti into this embroidery hoop and then sealed all that off with that acetate circle and frame that I created earlier. I placed some acrylic blocks on the top of that while it dried, and I tied a little bit of twine at the top of this embroidery hoop, and I think it is such a fun piece that you can use your paper crafting, card making products for, but you can create something a little different. Now, this could be an ornament, it can be a desk decor piece, it could really sit on top of a gift. You can do whatever you want with this. And I just think sometimes it's fun to break out of the card making world and try something a little different. So as always, I will have links to the featured products used in this project in the description at YouTube. So if you're looking for something in particular, be sure you check there. Or you can head on over to my blog at sprinkledwithglitter.com. I'll have that linked below as well. Over there, you'll find more still shots, more information, a complete list of supplies, as well as some information on the Pinkfresh Studio monthly challenge, and you can play along and win prizes. Thanks so much for stopping by and watching today. I hope you enjoyed this project and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications here on YouTube so you don't miss any of my paper crafting and card making video tutorials. Also, don't forget to say hi in the comments, share this video with a friend, and as always, until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day.